Hello everybody and welcome to the Challenge Cup predictions. I've already done my Champions Cup. There'll be a little thing up in that corner to go and check out that. I've done that. We're now on to the Challenge. Edinburgh's playing in this, so I am slightly more interested in this one. However, the Champions Cup's probably going to have better rugby in it, let's be honest. But anyway, it's going to be great. First thing I'll say, subscribe if you like what's going on. If you want to see more of these, I do these for every round, URC, and I'll do the European stuff in both tournaments. And also I am streaming tonight about just before 8 o'clock for the Claremont Edinburgh game, the Glasgow Northampton game, and the Connacht Bordeaux game will all be covered in there. The Edinburgh game will be the only one that I've got live on, but I will have score updates and all the other games if that's what you want to see. It'd be great to see some of you there. Some of the streams I've done before have been great fun with some good people there, some good chats and stuff. So yeah, get down. It'll be fun to see you. But anyway, less of that crap, more rugby. So, starting off, as I just said, Claremont Edinburgh, the only game that is tonight. Edinburgh. Edinburgh have been flying recently. They just won in Ulster, the first non-Irish team to win in Ulster since 2018. So, doing great there. However, Claremont is a tough place to go, a really tough place. And I'm in two minds, because one mind says back your team, the other mind says Claremont are going to be tough, and Edinburgh are playing quite a rotated squad. I'm going to stick with what I got and go with back your team. I'm going to back Edinburgh. Back your team, I have faith in them. However, I know how tough Claremont can be. Now, we shall move on to tomorrow, where the first game is Black Lion hosting Gloucester. This is in Georgia. I have never seen Black Lion play. I have no idea how good they are. I don't think many people do by watching a few other of these, so it'll be interesting to see where they are. Gloucester have not been hot this season though. They really haven't. They're struggling in the Premiership, which I personally do not think is of the same quality as the other two main leagues that's in here. However, I'm going to give the win to Gloucester just because I don't know where Black Lion is. I don't think it would be fair, so I'm going to give it to Gloucester because I do know slightly more what they're about. Hopefully Black Lion can shock us all, however, I have my doubts. Just, the teams they seem to be playing compared to some of the teams in here just seem to be, I don't know. Maybe they'll shock us, hopefully they'll shock us. I'd love Black Lion to actually do something. Next up, we've got the other invitational team in the Toyota Cheetahs as they travel to Zebra in Porma. Now, interestingly, Cheetahs we do know a bit more about. They were in the Pro 14 for a few years, but Zebra have been doing well recently. They got thumped in both the South African tour games, but back in Italy, I've got some faith in them. You know what, Cheetahs, I don't know how much they've played over the last few years, so I'm going to back Zebra. You know what? Go with a bit of fun. Back Zebra. I'm going to back Zebra to get a result there. I don't know. I think that just with they've just been playing well at home, so why not? Next up, we go to South Africa, where the Sharks, who have been struggling massively this season, are facing POW. And POW have been really good. They're sitting quite near the top of the top 14. Sharks have been struggling in the URC, however they are back in South Africa, which I think is a big factor. Again, if you've watched the Champions Cup video, I said this before, the European teams who are not from the URC, I think will struggle if they go to South Africa. If you look at the URC teams, the first time they travelled, I think only two teams in the whole of the URC got a win on their first trip to South Africa. I believe it was only two. I could be wrong. I've got Edinburgh and Connacht. I know both of them did. I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Leinster did as well. But I think it's just the conditions and that will just shock POW. So I'm going to back the Sharks. Next up, we've got Castres versus Scarlets in France. Now, Scarlets have been on and off. They've done well in a couple of games, but they've done really poorly in others. And Castres in France are quite a tough opponent. So for that matter, I think I'm going to back Castres to get a result over Scarlets. Although, Scarlets or one of these teams, they can pull a result out of nothing, so it wouldn't surprise me if they do pull something off. But I'm going to back Casters. Next up, Ospreys at home to Benetton, an all URC matchup. I have to give this to Benetton. They've been flying recently. They really have. I know it's away from home. My phone's bleeping. I know it's away from home for them. It's at the Swansea Stadium in Wales. But Benetton have just been amazing. Ospreys, again, the same as Scarlets, they've been on and off. Some games they've been pretty decent, and I think if Ospreys do turn up, they might get a result out of this. But Benetton have just been flying recently. Next up, Dragons at home to Onax. Onax is another team I don't know much about. Of doing the URC previews, they've done quite a lot of interesting transfer activity. They've bought some solid players. I think they're sitting around mid-table of the top 14, which isn't a bad place to sit. Top 14 is a really good league. Dragons have been struggling in the URC, so I will give this one to Onax. Yeah. Although Dragons at Rodney Parade could do something, but I think Onax be slightly too strong. Next up could be another solid affair. As Perpignan are at home to the Lions. This could be a good game. Lions in South Africa are good. Outside of South Africa, they do have issues, the Lions. Will this come back to bite them though? This is quite a tough one to predict. Perpignan there. You know what, I'm going to back Perpignan in France. France is a tough place to go, man. It really is. Not many teams can go into France and get a result. So I'm going to back Perpignan. And then last up, probably two of the weaker performing teams so far this season in Montpellier and Newcastle. Montpellier have just changed coach though, and I think the top 14 is a tougher league than the Premiership. It is at Kingston Park though, so Newcastle do have a home advantage. However, I think Montpellier will get the result here. Newcastle have been really, really bad. They really have. Newcastle are the only team not to have won a game this season from any of the teams competing in either of the two European Cups. Newcastle haven't won a game. Everyone else has. So, yeah, quite poor from them. But, you never know. Europe's a different animal compared to league. So that's all my predictions. To give you a quick rundown. Edinburgh to beat Clermont. Gloucester to beat Black Lion. Zebra to beat Cheetahs. Sharks to beat Pau. Casters to beat Scarlets. Benetton to beat Ospreys. Onax to beat Dragons. Perpignan to beat Lions. And Montpellier to beat Newcastle. That is my predictions for this round of the Challenge Cup. If you've not seen the Champions Cup, again, there'll be links. Go and check that one out. There's the stream. It'll kick off just before 8 o'clock, kind of 7:45, 10:00, somewhere in there, to 8, just before the kickoffs. Come along, we can chat, pop your questions in. I'm happy to answer anything. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe. And until next time, I shall see you later.